told me that when he goes, he wants to go in a Getting Real video.
In this room with no
But
windows.
who's going to edit it? Who's going to edit it and put it on YouTube?
Not me. That's
I don't have time anymore.
Is there a plan in place? Like, if that ever happens, like, you go mid-video that we need to, like,
Yeah,
hand it off to someone?
I'm coming.
It's your problem now.
Well, is that the intro?
It can be if you
It
want
is.
to.
It is.
I'm thinking a lot about giving my stuff away, you know?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about,
Why?
I don't know, I've just been thinking about it. Like yesterday, I decided who's going to get my vinyl copy of Deepest Bluest, LL Cool J's smash hit song from Deep Blue Sea.
That feeling is a precursor to a midlife crisis.
Oh, no.
So get ready for that.
Yeah.
I already went through mine.
Do you think it's kind of like 2018, bringing it back, that, you know, we kind of hit a midlife movie crisis in like 2020 and we're kind of still in it.
Mm-hmm.
2018 was kind of like
a really good year.
A really great year. Yeah. 2019 was good too, but like 2018, we know how good we had it.
There's a lot of movies off this list
that
could be argued onto this list.
Yeah.
Number 10, we have a tie, Infinity War and Black Panther.
Yeah.
I put them as a tie just because they're so interlinked together. Interlinked. And now I'm thinking about Blade Runner. They're so interlinked together because not only do they come out in the same year, but they're absolute juggernauts of movies. Black Panther is amazing. Infinity War is also amazing.
Yeah.
They do insane stuff for superhero movies, which now we're most people are kind of over superhero movies in general.
It's okay.
But, you know,
it's
not then, not 6 years ago.
Not then. It's kind of crazy. I didn't put it together. That was the same year, Black Panther and Infinity War.
Yeah, it was like 3 months roughly.
Yeah.
Because Infinity War comes out technically late April.
Yeah.
So you're talking, barely 3 months.
Yeah.
And just that hype of like Black Panther's huge, and it just sets the stage for what we all know is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
What a time.
The only negative for Black Panther is that the CGI is so bad at the end that you got to knock a point off.
Yeah.
But the acting's so great.
Yeah.
Killmonger, obviously.
So good.
And then, you know,
Chadwick.
Thanos is Thanos.
Yeah.
Probably the first and last time we'll get a proper protagonist villain story. Number 9, we have Roma, which I have not seen.
You still haven't seen Roma?
So good. You probably like it.
I know I would like it.
Almost won Best Picture.
It's one of those things. Is like, I know I'll like it, so I just take my time to watch it. So
it's Alfonso Cuarón's Fablemans, sort of. This was one of the Spielberg got his memoir movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is like the first, because then
it was,
after this you have Brana does it, and and he even does it in black and white as well.
Yeah.
And then you have Fablemans.
The acting is spectacular, and they're all non-actors, and it's heartbreaking but heartwarming at the same time. It's a beautiful movie. Watch it. It's on Netflix. It's like one of Netflix's best movies. It won director and cinematography.
Yeah.
Didn't win Best Picture.
If you say so.
Yeah.
You're their award.
You know what won Best Picture that year, right? For that year.
I don't remember.
It's Green Book.
Oh, it was Green Book year.
Green Book, not on the list.
Not on the spoilers.
All right, number 8, we have Mandy, which is part of the Nicolas Cage revenge arc that he's currently still on.
When you say revenge, not like revenge movies, but just like he's picking roles that are just out of this world, but he's amazing. Yeah.
For context, he made a lot of bad movies. He continues to make a lot of bad movies.
Yeah.
But at least one movie per year is amazing now. Last year we had Dream Scenario. This year we had Long Legs, which, I didn't like it, but whatever.
But him,
yes. Him, I like him. This movie is like 100% just vibes.
And just metal vibes.
Yes,
that
metal
it's like,
vibes. If
you were like, what is this movie like? Like, have you ever seen a metal album cover? It's a lot like that.
I need to see this.
Without a resolution.
And you're just like, I'm not sure what I'm watching. And there's moments where Nick is just like in his underwear and some like whitey tidies, and he's just like a maniac in the best way. He makes an axe sword.
Yes.
Something like that.
This movie sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
It's awesome.
I wish more people would have seen it because it is wild. It's awesome.
Let's stay on the vibe train. Let's go to number 7, Annihilation.
Yeah. Alex
Garland just going a little buck wild. Just a little tight, little buck wild.
Yep. I think that I love Annihilation. I didn't put it on my list because it's the beginning of what I like to think of Garland just like getting weirder and weirder and more obscure. Civil War, he's kind of like on the up now.
Mm-hmm. Especially now that a lot of things have happened.
Yeah, so like Civil War's on the up, but like this is like the middle of the road of like this dude is nuts, and it's based on like a novella.
It's based on a book series, but it's only based on the first book,
and it just does not explain anything. It is. Have you seen Annihilation?
No.
So
Zach, just so many good vibes you're missing out.
I know that like the ending sort of because everyone talks about it, but
look, Gen Z loves this movie. Gen Z loves it. It's big. The dance scene at the very end is big on TikTok. The song especially. I mean, the soundtrack in this is amazing. But obviously, you got Natalie Portman, Oscar Isaacs, Tessa Thompson,
Jennifer Jason Leigh, right?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
You have a lot of great actors in this movie. But as JD alluded to, another movie that doesn't really hold your hand. You sort of just gotta interpret how you see it.
We really were like at peak, like let's not treat people as dumb anymore.
Yeah.
And we were living good.
And now movies are like, we're gonna treat you as dumb as possible.
Yeah.
But still
also
good.
It's fun. It's still cool. But yeah, we really were. Like it was a moment. And it was like this was the Ex Machina follow-up. So we were all like, ooh, like what is this gonna be? And like you gotta remember, like Oscar Isaac was just
he's blowing up.
Mm-hmm. And then you have all these other great actors, and it's just, I could see where people were let down. I was not, because, there's nothing like sitting in a theater with like 4 other people just...
It's a head trip.
We're just kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that was a movie.
Speaking of heads, number 6, Hereditary. Now, if you've only heard about this movie, this is Ari Aster's first like big swing.
Yeah.
And he swings and he hits it out of the park. It is one of those new era horror movies that is, I wouldn't even classify as horror. Because it's not scary for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Until like the last half of the movie.
It's an elevated horror. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those movies where people tell you it just, like, the tension just keeps building and building. And then it's just like this huge release. You're like, oh my gosh, like, this is terrifying. And it's like the one I think that, like, really pulls it off.
Yeah.
That, like, it earns it. And it is scary enough at the end to where you're like, I'm not going to be okay anymore.
No.
Yeah. And it's because everything else, like it builds and builds and you're like, oh, that's it. But this right here is like master horror filmmaking. And again, I know it's not like super scary, but the tension, and you think it's starting earlier than it is because of the scene, the head scene.
Yeah, that one.
And then it just like gets scarier and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Toni Collette should have been nominated.
Toni Collette, Gabriel Byrne, really burning. Do I think that Midsommar may be like his masterpiece and a masterpiece that the internet has embraced so lovingly?
Yeah. I would argue Beau is Afraid is his masterpiece.
Is his masterpiece.
But most people have not seen that movie.
But like Midsommar is such a weird movie that like the culture has been like, this is ours now.
Yeah.
And Hereditary, I think, had a moment like that. But no, it's just good times.
Yeah.
I mean, scary times.
Yeah. Scary times.
I'll never, I mean...
Heads will roll.
That, and when I saw this movie, an old woman sat right behind me, terrified me the whole time. Really made it.
She laughed the whole time?
Yeah, it was weird.
Now, a different kind of tension. Number 5, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh, man.
This movie ratchets up the tension like consistently throughout the movie. It's really hard to keep tension in an action movie. And the fact that, what is this, the 5th Fallout movie?
It's 5th, yep.
5th, yeah. No,
the 6th?
It's the 6th. Rogue Nation's the 5th.
Yeah, that's right. That's
my God.
So the fact that this series can make perhaps its best movie in the 6th movie, and it be the most tense movie since the first one, hats off to him.
This movie it may be perfect.
It may be a perfect action movie.
Arguably, and this is the one Henry
Cavill,
right?
yeah.
With the arm.
The arm, this movie is so good that it kind of sets Dead Reckoning up for not failure. Dead Reckoning is awesome.
Yeah.
But like there is a little bit of like, oh man, it's not as good as Fallout.
Yes.
Again, still love it, but yeah, there's so many good things. And Rebecca Ferguson is still just killing it in that movie.
Yeah. Number 4, we have 8th grade Bo Burnham's directorial debut. I don't know if he's ever even going to make another movie.
I don't. Yeah, he peaked.
Isn't he supposed to make a Sesame Street movie, or he's in a Sesame Street movie?
He's been attached to like 3 things, and then nothing has come out yet. So
I guess he technically directed Inside, right?
Yes,
yeah.
But that would you call that a movie? I call that more of a stand-up set. That's it's like an elevated stand-up.
Yeah, one-man show type thing. 8th grade is like it's such a slice of life, but very specific to people who have like anxiety. It's like one of the best depictions of anxiety ever, I would argue. And it's also very funny, and Josh Hamilton is in this. Josh Hamilton is fantastic. I forget the actress's name.
Elsie Fisher.
Elsie Fisher.
Yeah. I mean, how could you forget? She went on to do hits like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix.
And she's been in a lot of stuff recently, though. So,
but it's such a good movie. Like it's
it's like the encapsulation of what 8th grade is like. It's like you don't know who you are as a person yet, and so a lot of awkward things are happening in your life. You are attracted to certain people. You try to make funny jokes that aren't funny at all. You try to make friends, but the friends already have friends.
Yep.
And so if you experience any of that, it's in this movie.
And it's also one of the scene in the car is like one of the scariest, like most intense. Like he can make a horror movie. I would love Bo Burnham to make a horror movie, but
Number 3, Sorry to Bother You.
Man, that's a film.
What a movie that came true. Parts of it.
Yeah, it's actually good. Oh my god.
If you don't know, this is Boots Riley making an anti-capitalist movie that is the fact that you can even get that out as the point of the movie when there's horse people in this.
Yeah. It's almost like we kind of already talked about the horse people, but it's so hard to talk about without just giving everything away.
Yes.
Because it really was just like truly shocking. I think we all thought we were going to see one movie, and then Boots is just like, buckle up.
Because it sells itself as like this is a movie about a commentary on capitalism. Yeah. And then it unveils everything else to you, which it's a larger point about America in general, just like the culture. Our culture is very unique, is the best way to say it. And this movie is also very unique.
Yeah, it's very absurdist. It's just if you like absurd stuff, this is the movie for you.
Yeah, a movie that you're laughing at someone, you're like, I'm not sure what I'm laughing at times, but a great like you usually I know this is funny, and everyone else around me knows this is funny, but we're all like, what are we laughing at? But a great cast too. I think about the compliment.
The compliment fight
so often.
Hope you have a good day.
Hope you have a better day. It's so good.
Number 2, we have Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. Yeah. People love this movie.
This movie blew my freaking mind. Yeah. It's one of the best animated movies ever, superhero movies, and it's one of those. It's kind of like cliche to talk about it now, but like it was revolutionary, and it's like a comic book animated, but also CG, but also hand drawn. It's such a good story. Like it's like a perfectly structured story, and it's got every single frame is like candy for your eyeballs.
Yeah, there's so many great jokes. There's so many great like comic book nods. Again, another fun stacked cast. We have 2 Nick Cage movies on here.
I know.
Yeah.
How about that?
And now he's getting his own show.
Live action
show.
I didn't know it was live action.
And it's just, I mean, everything about this movie is like a 10 out of 10. The soundtrack, the score, the voice acting, the look. It kind of, I think it is a movie that we look back and we're like, this kind of ruins animated movies for the next 10 years. It's a dark night of animated movies where you're like, this is probably not the best. And there are some who have like managed to add on to it. I think like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a great example of like they took that idea and went in a different direction. Makes me cry at the end. You know, it's a real like it's an origin story, but also like a reinvention story, which is for like, you know, you have sad Peter Parker who's just, you know, learning the same lessons as like young Miles Morales, and it's just really good.
And did it kick off the multiverse movies that are everywhere now?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like you see that, and again, I think it does that. Well, what a lot of people don't talk about is it really did give multiverses like to the people in a form that they could comprehend, and that was cool. And are we nailing it? Still, probably not. But like this, if this doesn't happen, then Spiderverse doesn't happen. Loki doesn't happen. Deadpool doesn't. You know, it's like everything that we're like kind of eye rolling now doesn't happen without this, and. It's cool that we can talk about multiverses now, you know.
Okay, cool, yeah.
At dinner over Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, with my family, we just can't stop talking about multiverses. We're just always talking.
It's the only thing to talk about.
Do you think the best multiversal movie is The Butterfly Effect?
No, it's the Mothman Prophecies.
Oh, okay, that's true.
We have Spike Lee's BlacKkKlansman.
Yeah.
This movie, top to bottom, is just amazing. It ties back to real life. Obviously, Charlottesville happened around the same time.
Yeah.
This movie comes out.
Is that not in the credits though?
It's in the credits,
yeah.
You know, this is a commentary also on the current political landscape that is happening and how it relates to the past. But obviously but it's also just a really fun movie.
Really good movie.
Adam Driver and John David Washington make a great duo. I'm 100% of the mind that John David Washington needs Adam Driver in more movies together. They doing a buddy cop movie would be amazing.
I need it. I want it so bad.
But also Topher Grace as the Ku Klux Klan David Duke. You can see the charisma the guy has, but also how just annoyingly racist the guy is.
And this also, is this Paul Walter Hauser too?
Yes.
Like post Richard Jewell, post like, okay, we're like, oh, this guy's cooking a little bit.
Yeah.
And now he's everywhere.
And he's wrestling.
And he's just seems like a very all-around cool dude.
Yeah.
A movie filled with just cool people. 2 movies where a white voice is used, and it's so funny every time. Like when John David Washington picks up the phone and he talks like that, I'm like dying. It's a movie that you're like, it should not work as both a comedy and like a biopic and a drama, but it does. And this is the kind of like, if we're gonna do like real life stories, these are the ones I want to see. The ones that you're like, this is almost too insane to believe that this really happened.
They fudge a little bit of the facts, but I think it's the larger. It's a Werner Herzog thing. It's like the larger idea is the truth.
Yeah.
The fiction part is fiction.
Yeah. And you got to make it interesting.
What a great year for movies.
Really fantastic year.
We love movies, guys.
Game Night. I wish we could have got it on.
One of the last
the internet
good
loves
comedies.
Game Night.
The internet loves Game Night. So many good jokes in that.
And then what's his face?
Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
God.
It's not even. And listen, guys, the Frito-Lay. Like, can we just end this now? The Frito-Lay bit, not the funniest thing in that movie.
That's what's great about that movie.
It's the table. It's the table bit when they can't keep breaking tables and then one breaks. And it's really good. That's the funniest.
You say so.
Part.
Also, have not watched it.
It's very good.
I got too many movies to watch. There's too many movies out there.
You need to watch Game Night.
Yeah, I know.
And you need to watch Mandy.
I need to watch Mandy bad.
And Annihilation.
Double
and
feature?
Annihilation, yeah.
Triple feature?